Students, once again, welcome to the online classes. By now, we have completed the story, The Little Girl. How was it? Was it not an interesting one? Yes, it is an interesting one, and I hope you must have enjoyed it. We all realize at some point of time in our life that our parents love us so much. They care for us so much. But sometimes, because of their busyness, they fail to express. We find in the story that Cassie realizes that her father loves her very much. He takes care of her so much. But in the past, he could not spare much time for her. Such a situation is sometimes found in most of our lives. So, students, today we will take up the exercises given at the back of the story. The first one is a matching exercise. There are two columns, column A and column B. In column A, some emotions are given, and in the column B, we find some situations when the emotions come to Cassia in the story. The first emotion is fear or terror. In column B, there are three situations when fear or terror comes to Cassia in the story. These are: number one, father comes into her room to give her a goodbye kiss. Then number three, father comes home. Then number four, speaking to father. And finally, number five, going to bed when alone at home. The second emotion in column A is glad sense of relief. There is only one situation in column B when Cassia has glad sense of relief. That is number two, noise of the carriage grows fainter. The last emotion is funny feeling, perhaps of understanding. This is matching with the situation 6. Father comforts her and falls asleep. Father stretched out on the sofa, snoring, is a situation when Cassia has a sense of fear or terror. Students, once again I would like to tell you the matching numbers. Fear or terror matches with number 1, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 7. Glad sense of relief matches with number 3. A funny feeling, perhaps of understanding matches with number 6. Now students, let us go to the next exercise, that is, answer the following questions in 1 or 2 sentences. The first question is, why was Cassia afraid of her father? Students, here I will be giving you some hints and you can develop answers of your own self. Cassia was afraid of her father because her father could not spend much time with her because of his work schedule. Moreover, he used to come home tired and broken from his work. So, his conversation with Cassia was of a rough tone which Kezia feared. Students, you can also cite certain examples from the story itself. Let's go to the next question. Who were the people in Kezia's family? So the answer is very simple. In Kezia's family, she had her parents, grandmother, and Alice the cook. Question number 3. What was Kezia's father's routine? Three options are given. Three, in fact, situations are given. Let us go one by one. Number 1. Before going to his office. Before going to his office, Kezia's father would enter Kezia's room and would kiss her. Number 2. After coming back from his office. After coming back from his office, Kezia's father would ask for a cup of tea, for the newspaper, and tell to bring his slippers. 3. On Sundays. On Sundays, Kezia's father would stretch himself out on the sofa and sleep snoring with his handkerchief over his face. Students, you can elaborate these points. I'm just giving you the hints only. Now let's move to question number 4. Question 4. In what ways did Kezia's grandmother encourage her to get to know her father better? To encourage her to get to know her father better, Kezia's grandmother would tell her to go to her parents sitting in the dining room on every Sunday and then to have nice talks with them. Once, grandmother encouraged her to make a gift for her father on his birthday. Students, these are some of the points that would help you to elaborate your answers. Now let us move to the next exercise. Discuss these questions in the class with your teacher and then write down your answers in 2 or 3 paragraphs. Number 1. Kezia's efforts to please her father resulted in displeasing him very much. How did this happen? Students, here I will be suggesting you some points and you try your hand over these questions yourself. That would be better for you. Now, in this case, we can say that it is an irony of situation. Now, what is an irony? IRONY. It may be said as irony, but it is better to say irony. Irony of situation is a situation when one thinks of something, but in reality, what happens is exactly opposite to one's thinking. Here we find that Kezia, in order to please her father, tried to make the cushion pin to be gifted on his birthday, but things went wrong. So students, you have to write about the irony of situation here. And the rest you can write about the incident, how she was encouraged by her grandmother to give a gift on her father's birthday and what she did, how she unknowingly destroyed some important papers of her father, and how her father became very angry with her. Question 2. Kezia decides that there are different kinds of father. What kind of father was Mr. McDonnell, and how was he different from Kezia's father? Students, you can write the answer to this question relating to two different situations. The first one, when she saw MacDonald and his children playing with him, and the other towards the end of the story, when she realizes that her father also loves her very much. She realizes the difference between Mr. MacDonald and her father in the end of the story. It comes out as all fathers are same, not different, but Mr. MacDonald was different because he had enough time to spare with his children, whereas Cassie's father was very busy with his own works and he could not spare much time for Cassia. But his love and care for Cassia was as same as that of Mr. MacDonald for his children. Question 3. How does Cassia begin to see her father as a human being who needs her sympathy? Students, the answer to this question can be found in the later part of the story. A reference to the night when Kezia was alone and her mother and the grandmother were in the hospital must be made here. You have to write about the incident, how Kezia's father took her to his own bedroom and made her sleep. He himself fell asleep before Kezia could sleep. She was in his arms, resting her head on his heart. Now she realized that her father needed sympathy because he was a very tired person of the family who had to look after the whole family, sacrificing a lot. Students, now let us go to thinking about language. Here you are given some synonyms. I hope you understand what a synonym is. Synonyms are words having same meaning. However, they are a bit different in their application. The exercise given here is to use synonyms. Let us try it. The given synonyms are glad, happy, pleased, delighted, thrilled, and overjoyed. Let us fill the blanks with these synonyms. The first one will be delighted. She was delighted by the news of her brother's wedding. Number 2, thrilled. I was thrilled to be invited to the party. Number 3, overjoyed. She was overjoyed at the birth of her granddaughter. Number 4, happy. The coach was happy with his performance. And finally, number 6, pleased. She was very pleased with her results. Students, now let us move to question number 2. The first one is done for you. Let us start from the second one. Today, you are going to take the biggest decision of your career. Here, biggest means the most important. Number 3. Their project is full of big ideas. Here, big means great, great ideas. Number 4. Cricket is a big game in our country. Here, big means very popular game in our country. Number 5. I'm a big fan of Lata Mangeshkar. Here, big means great. I'm a great fan of Lata Mangeshkar. Number 6. You have to cook a bit more as my friend is a big eater. Here, big means more. more eater. And lastly, what a big heart you have got, father dear. Here, big heart means sympathetic heart. Students, let us go to the next question. It is about a reporting verb. I'll be reading out the reporting verbs in the questions one after the other. Number 1. He says he will enjoy the ride, says. Father mentioned that he was going on a holiday, mentioned. No one told us that the shop was closed, told. He answered that the price would go up, answered. I wondered why he was screaming, wondered. Ben told her to wake him up, told. Rutten apologized for coming late to the party, apologized. So, students, let's move to the next question. It is also about reporting verbs. Some reporting verbs are given here. These are were complaining, shouted, replied, remarked, ordered, suggested. I'll be reading out the answers with the reporting verbs. Number 1. I'm not afraid, replied the woman, replied. Number 2. Leave me alone, my mother shouted, shouted. Number 3. The children were complaining that the roads were crowded and noisy, were complaining. Number 4. Perhaps he isn't a bad sort of a chap after all, remarked the master, remarked. Number 5. Let's go and look at the school ground, suggested the sports teacher, suggested. And number 6. The traffic police ordered all the passers-by to keep off the road, ordered. So students, we have completed the exercises here. And the rest of the exercises is about speaking, which we will be doing afterwards. So for today, let us stop here. Thank you so much.